Hey, welcome. So today we're going to talk about a feeling that, honestly, almost all of us have. That nagging sense that you're constantly behind schedule in your own life. We're going to break down exactly where that pressure comes from and figure out what we can actually do about it.
I mean, really think about it. You know that feeling, right? That little voice in your head telling you that you should be further along by now, that you must have missed a turn somewhere, and that maybe everyone else got a secret schedule that somehow never made it to your inbox.
And here's the most important thing to get right from the very start. If you feel this way, you are so not alone. This feeling isn't some kind of personal failure. It's more like a design flaw in the whole system we're trying to navigate.
To really get this, you have to picture it like this. We've all been signed up for some kind of phantom race, a huge competition, but there's no clear starting gun, and the finish line, well, it just keeps moving.
It's this nonstop pressure to hit the next milestone, get the next achievement, check the next box. But when you actually stop for a second and ask, wait, whose race am I even running? And who's keeping score here? The answers they get pretty fuzzy pretty fast.
So, if it's a phantom race, what's actually causing all this pressure? Well, it all comes down to this sort of invisible blueprint that we've all been handed for how life is supposed to go. And that brings us to the core idea we're talking about today, the arbitrary timeline. The two most important words there are socially constructed. This stuff isn't a law of nature, like gravity. It's just a set of ideas that people made up over time. It's like being handed the detailed blueprint for a house you never even wanted to build. And this blueprint, it probably looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? Graduate college by 22, get married around 28, buy that house at 30. And let's be real, these aren't presented as gentle suggestions, are they? They're treated like the default path, the normal way. And if you do things in a different order or just at a different speed, it can make you feel like you're falling behind.
And this right here is the absolute key. These timelines aren't just little nudges. They create this powerful, invisible structure, a whole architecture of expectation that kind of boxes us in and tells us how fast we should be going. And that's why this feeling of being late can feel so real and so incredibly stressful. So you gotta ask, right? If we didn't agree to this blueprint, who on earth drew the map in the first place? To figure that out, we have to go back and look at who the original architects were.
The thing is, the original architects were really just forces from the past. You had economic systems that needed people to settle down early and be stable workers. You had cultural norms from your grandparents' generation when life paths were way more limited. And of course, you had decades of old movies and TV shows that just played this one version of a successful life on repeat.
But today, oh man, those old ideas are on steroids thanks to all these modern amplifiers. Social media isn't just a peek into a friend's life. It's a perfectly edited highlight reel of everyone hitting their milestones, right on schedule. It fuels this insane culture of constant comparison, where we're stacking up our messy, behind-the-scenes reality against everyone else's public highlight reel.
And this chart right here just shows you how bananas the whole thing is. I mean, look at the difference. What we value today, career fulfillment, new experiences, defining success for ourselves, it's so different from just 50 years ago. The very definition of a good life has completely changed. So why are we still judging ourselves by that old, outdated rule book?
Okay, so this is where we get to the good stuff. If the old map doesn't lead where we want to go anymore, then it's time to become our own map makers. It's time to start drawing your own lines. I just love this idea. It's a total shift in mindset. You go from being a passive resident, just living inside the walls someone else built for you, to becoming the active architect, designing a life that actually fits who you are. So, how do you actually do that? Well, it can start with a pretty simple 3-step process. First, just start noticing all the shoulds that pop into your head. I should be married by now. I should own a home. Second, question them. Where did that should come from? Is it really yours? Does it even line up with what you truly value? And finally, the most important step, define what you actually want. What do you want, separate from all that outside noise? Now, to be super clear here, this isn't about just rejecting everything. It's not about saying no to marriage or buying a home just for the sake of it. Not at all. It's about taking those things off the arbitrary timeline and putting them on your timeline. It's about choosing them because you want them when it feels right for you. So we're going to end with this question. If you could just silence all of the shoulds, ignore all the old maps, and start with a completely blank blueprint, what kind of life would you actually design? What would you build? The answer is all yours, and you're right on time to start drawing it.